One of the main types of graphs that's used in the real world to compare two data sets is called a scatter plot. And the scatter plot is graphed as ordered pairs in the coordinate plane. So first, let's just kind of look at some scatter plots, and then I'll show you something interesting that you can do with scatter plots. In example 1, we've got a scatter plot, and it shows the fat compared to the number of calories in restaurant sandwiches. And so when you use a scatter plot, you're comparing two data sets that are kind of related somehow, and you want to see what the relationship is between them. So first question, how many calories are in a sandwich that contains 17 grams of fat? So very simply, you go to the chart, you find about where 17 would be, and you go up to where calories hits, and well, this one hits, I would say probably this dot right here, 400 calories. Next question, how many grams of fat are in a sandwich that contains 600 calories? So you just have to pay attention to which axis you're looking at. Now we're going to the 600 calorie side, and we're going to go over. So it could be like 30 or it could be 40. So you can pick either one of those. Maybe 30 should be, because I think it hits right there. This is probably like 610 calories or something. So let's say 30 grams. And then they want us to kind of look at the trends. So what do you think is happening as the number of calories and the number of fat grams increase? And so they look obviously like they're increasing together. So I wrote, as one increases, the other does too. Just like with lines, there's like slopes and relationships that you can look at. So we have what the fat and calories are, which is a positive relationship, whereas one increases, the other increases as well. You could also have a negative relationship where one value is increasing but the other is decreasing. So for you gamers out there, this could be something like as the amount of games that you have increase, the amount of hard drive space you have decreases, right? Because each game requires a little more space, so that would be like a negative relationship, where as one value goes up, the other is going down. And then you also could have no relationship, where there's kind of no pattern to anything. So this might be, the number of pets you have and the number of glasses of water that you drink in a day, right? So those have nothing to do with each other. All right, so now that we have those relationships, let's very briefly look at these and just to tell whether it's positive, negative, or no relationship at all. So television size and price. So as television size goes up, the price is also going up. Now there's this like television down here that kind of looks like an outlier, but for the most part, and then there's like no televisions here at all. But as the size goes up, the price goes up, so that would be a positive relationship. And then for the next one, age and pets owned. So your age is here, a number of pets. You can see the dots are all over the place, and so therefore there is no relationship. Now, I told you that scatter plots are used in real life, and it's mostly when you want to predict something. And so the way that we predict things using scatter plots is using this thing called a line of fit. And a line of fit is a line that we draw onto a scatter plot that's close to most of the data, so we get it as close as we can to all of the random dots, and we use it to estimate values. So here's an example. We've got this chart with weeks and sales in millions, and it shows the weekly sales of a DVD and the number of weeks since its release. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to make a scatter plot, and then we're going to draw a line of fits. So let's make our scatter plot. In order to do so, we need axes, and if you look here, we're only going to be in the positive quadrant. So I've got my quadrant 1 set up, X and Y. X stands for weeks, and Y stands for sales in millions. Now I need to go all the way up to 19 million, so I don't think I can go by ones, but I'm pretty sure I can go by twos. So that'll be 2, 4, and then that's it. I won't keep numbering for that, but weeks I can go by ones. All right, so now let's plot some points. I plot the point 1, 19. 2, 15. 3, 13. 4, 11. 5, 10. 6, 8. 7, 7. And 8, 5. Now you're not playing connect the dots, but what we are going to do in a second is we're going to draw a line of fit. All right, so watch this. I have this super cool line over here. And what I want to do is I want to make it so it goes through the middle of the dots. I want to make it go through as many dots as possible. And if there are dots that aren't on the line, if there's some underneath, I want to match it up with the number on the top. So even though there's like that kind of anomaly at the top, I think this is a pretty good line right here. So sketch your line right there, use a straight edge, and now we need to come up with the equation of the line for part B. So the way that you do that is you very simply pick 2 points that are on the line right here. These points go right through it exactly, and then I'm going to use them to find the slope. So the slope is down 2, right 1, right? Because remember, I'm going by 2's on the y-axis. And then if you look at where it's hitting the y-axis, oh, whoops. It's hitting right here at about, I have no idea what that is. 19? So my equation is y equals negative 2x plus 19. Now, when you do a line of fit, it might not be exactly the same as someone else's line equation, but you should pretty much be approximately the same. If someone has negative 2x plus 20, that doesn't make them wrong. You just want to kind of be around the same answer. Because remember, we are using these to predict values, so they're just kind of guesses anyway. So now we have to interpret the slope, and the slope means that each week the sales go down by 2 million. So the last thing that you do with the line of fit is you use it to predict. So let's predict what it would be in week 9. We're going to use our formula, right? So y equals negative 2 times 9 plus 19. That gives me negative 18 plus 19. So I'm predicting about 1 million. All right, if you have any questions, write them down and ask me when you come to class.